When I've recovered from the heavy blow to my face, he runs over to the cart Siren used and grabs a long rag off of it. He rushes back over to me and wrenches my jaw open, shoving most of it in my mouth and down the back of my throat. He's surprisingly strong, and I try to yell, but it comes out muffled. I then go to bite down on his hand, but the cloth is already bunched up in my mouth. He then ties the rest of the long rag around the back of my head, finally gagging me. I struggle to say anything, or push the cloth forward with my tongue, but it's no use. I can hear Siren walk up to the door, and he kicks it open with his foot. It's a good thing we gagged him, or he would continue to say the exact stuff he was already saying a minute ago. When he walks in, he's got a large metallic bowl, carrying it by the handles on either side. It's very wide, and resting inside of it is a pile of red-hot coals and the branding iron. It's already glowing a bright red color at the end, and the sight causes me to uncontrollably struggle in my chains.
Very good, Siren. You can set that on the ground over there.
He says this, pointing to a spot on the floor where there's no straw. Siren sets it down with a loud thud. Imagine putting it in the straw pile. This'll be fine.
Turn him around.
I yank the chains as hard as... Yay! I yank the chains as hard as I can, hoping to break free from the wall. Anything to stop what's going to happen. It's hopeless, though, and Siren grabs my wrists and body, forcing me into a position so that I'm kneeling on the bench, face pressed against the bricks. Screaming into my gag is pointless, but I can't help yelling in fear as the seconds pass.
You're mine now, do you understand? It's like I said earlier, your life is in my hands.
The brand hardly affects this. Like, we're literally up for execution and have been imprisoned for like 3 weeks now. There's like an extra week just from post-trial now. I hear Siren reach over and pick up the brand, the sound of the coals crumbling around it as it's lifted from the basin, causing fear to course through my veins. He starts to limp towards me, but Adrius stops him.
No. I'll do it.
Adrius yanks the rod away from Siren and gets behind me. Seconds turn into minutes. Minutes, apostrophe S, turn into hours. After what feels like forever, it finally happens. First, I feel the pain. Searing and sharp, I can almost feel the shape of the metallic antlers on my skin. It presses into my back, pushing deeper and deeper within each second pressure is applied. Then I hear it. A sizzling noise enters my ears, which gets louder the more it goes on. I can almost hear the skin ripple as it burns away, the brand pressing harder into the flesh beneath the surface. Finally, I smell it. It's something I've never smelled before, but I've heard how awful it can be. The horrible smell of burning flesh overwhelms my senses. In fact, the effect this terrible act has on my senses is so great, it completely drowns out the sounds of my muffled shouts of pain. How? You can hear the flesh sound, at least from my perspective. No, yeah, I figured. I know in my bones that Adrius is taking it all in as much as he can. After it feels like minutes, but what was most likely a few seconds, Adrius lifts the brand away from the center of my back. At first there's relief, but it quickly turns into a raw pain as the cold air rushes over the wound.
See, that wasn't so bad. I even made sure it was centered. I do like my sassy dear boy.
That does make it more of a tramp stamp. That's centered. Siren gets behind me and positions me so that I'm now facing Adrius. I try as hard as I can not to lean my back against the wall. We don't know where on the back it is, right?
assumed like on the spine, like in the middle.
Yeah, but because centered, but there's a lot of spine.
Or like when I say center, like in the direct center of your back.
Like middle back. It's not
Yeah, the middle of your back, I
blades,
guess,
but
yeah.
not tramp stampy.
No, I don't think we got tramp stamped. Go and get the guards. We need to get him outside in the wall before sundown.
I put it on your left butt cheek like a horse. Outside.
It's your cutie mark.
Is he finally going to have me
God.
executed? It's an easy assumption, but why the walls? Tyrion leaves through the door and slowly limps up the tunnel, a wheezing chuckle exiting his lips. So we can hear him. I don't understand. It keeps changing. Adris turns back to me. But instead of looking smug or frustrated, all I can see is an inattentive expression. It's a betrayal of what I have experienced in the past several days, and it sends a chill up my back. It looks like the face of someone who just woke up after a long night's rest.
Are we really like multiple personalitying right now?
Yeah, it's literal apparently. I don't know what this adds to the story. This is weird. Because it potentially blames the murder on multiple personalities. I'm like, but it doesn't. That
also, I feel like we need to draw attention once again to like the murder logistics. That like the reveal there was like, how did Adrius do the murder? There's a secret passage. But also, even if Richter had that information, that doesn't incriminate Adrius. Like,
no,
in really any way. That just kind of says like, oh, it could be anybody.
But it also like,
what did you know about the secret entrance?
Yeah. It also confusingly like overcomplicates a premeditated murder. Like it had to have been planned, but also he just spontaneously changes which Adrius he is, seemingly against his will, which makes it hard to be making coordinated plans. Like, if anything, like having a split personality type of thing in a murder plot would be like a more like passionate, like out of nowhere kind of murder that you do when you're switching back and forth or something, not like a very like a carefully planned one where a person has to be in a specific place at a specific time and you have an entrance, an exit plan, and a murder weapon and a disguise and somebody to blame it on that's going to show up a few minutes later, all in that tight frame. That's really premeditated. I don't know what I just don't feel like this adds anything to the plot to be like, by the way, there's multiple Adriuses in his brain. Like, what?
But like they're both like kind of the same still.
Yeah.
Like
we're just specifically calling attention to him switching, but they don't speak differently or act differently. One of them just acts more unrepentantly evil a little bit, but it's also just the moment where a normal character would just be like, you got me. Well, I guess I don't have to hide it now. Time to gloat. Which is just like someone without DID, or, you know, I'm not going to say real DID, but, you know, murder plot fiction DID as it happens all the time. Fucking the movie Identity and stuff, where that one guy has all the people fighting in his brain.
It kind of reminds me of Merrick from Yu-Gi-Oh, who was evil, but then he had an eviler personality that was actually really scary.
They love this shit. They love this shit so much.
I loved it.
An eviler personality.
There was an eviler one.
God. It's like
They're always really popular.
It's like how we were just watching Psycho Gorman last night, and it's like, and they're like, it's like we have to fight. There's a battle coming between evil and worse evil. Yeah, I have no idea what to think about the revelations about being a sleeper agent or DID in this episode, because I feel like neither of them add to the story. I feel like literally the only reason for Richter to be a sleeper agent is just to contrive us not knowing.
Yeah.
And it literally does not add to the plan or service his plans or even the suspicions against him. It's literally just to explain why the audience that isn't real in the story doesn't know, which is a bad reason to condition yourself for imaginary
I guess
people.
They were like hinting that Tigran kind of knew, but like didn't want to reveal it yet because that was not a convenient place to reveal it for the story.
It's just Tigran refuses to tell us anything ever. Tigran will tutorial us on the power, but then will just make us use the power to discover everything, basically. Because it's the same reason why they won't tell us the details of the murder.
Well, in the reveal, they were like, "You're becoming your own person more and more," which I guess was like their hint that they already knew that this was a thing. But now they're gone. For now, it's probably forever. I don't know. I don't know what would have happened if Adris didn't kill the king. Like, what was going to happen as the sleeper agent? I wonder if that is going to get
That's the thing.
explained.
Like, it's important to demarcate that in your mind that like Adris or Richter being a sleeper agent does not mean that he was going to kill the king. It doesn't really tell us that he has any ill intent at all.
No, well, because we don't know yet what it means that he's a sleeper agent. My brain was just like, maybe that means he was swapped out by the brigands and he was there to kill the other monarch, just like they killed the previous one decade ago. But so far, and this is crucial, Driz has no development, Aaron has no development, and the brigands have no development. We just know that the brigands killed the queen once. And that's pretty much the entirety of the geopolitics of the setting so far. So we don't know why anyone would do anything, and who has an incentive to do these things. And so we can't really build a conspiracy and extrapolate like what this purpose would serve at all. Like I don't know what to do.
That is also like, what is the assumption about like, are the bandits necessarily related to wherever Richter came from? Because we assumed that it was a bandit attack on Richter's thing, but it's also like maybe that wasn't the same bandit. I'm sort of like the bandits really have like not come up in any clear and concise way. I guess it's just that like the image of the guy killing the king looked like the bandits.
We know that they killed the queen, and we know that I think there was the suggestion that the knife that killed the king also was related to that kind of.
It looked
allegiance.
like the same knife, yeah.
Yeah, but also we know that the bandits attacked both Kadaj and Richter on the way in. And that's about it. Well, actually, we don't know they attacked Richter. We know they attacked Kadaj, but the attack on Richter was obscured as like an avalanche or something. But we just suspect that it's probably the brigands, because why would they both get attacked, but one of them's a natural disaster?
Exactly. It was purely an assumption on Kadaj's or Raynar's part of like it must have been the bandits. Like no one ever, Richter didn't even suggest that it was bandits. He didn't really talk about the accident at all.
No. I think he had like one sentence where he's like sad the people died, but he doesn't have memories of them in any concrete way, and just moves on.
I think they also described it like not everyone died. Like it was the others had already gone back by the time he woke up.
Which sounds like a problem if he can be recognized if he's not actually Richter or something.
Exactly.
I can hear the guards' footsteps. That definitely should have apostrophe. We're all over the place on apostrophes this update. I can hear the guards' footsteps coming up the hall at a much faster pace than Siren. Adris hears them too, and goes to the door, opening it and walking through.
Get him ready and bring him to the wall. Someone tell the executioner to saddle his horse.
That is a confusing sentence.
Horse on horse.
I'm just like, because when I hear executioner, I think of the horse, and I'm like, saddle his horse, and I'm like, huh, does he have complicated feelings about that? The guards enter the cell, one of them standing by the door, while the other walks up to me. I recognize them as being the guards from before. I guess the ones that punched him. They reach down and undo the shackles at my feet. After taking those off, a wave of relief washes over my ankles. I hadn't noticed just how much the clasp has been resting on them. Reaching up, the guard grasps the wrists on each of my arms, one at a time, and removes the cuffs. I let my wrists fall into my lap. The feeling of being able to lower my arms is like heaven. I imagine it's like agony, honestly. Examining the skin, there's deep red marks on each wrist where they cut into the outer layer of flesh. The other guard throws me the shirt I was given before the trial, and it lands in my lap. It's cold and damp, but after watching it lay on the floor for the past several days, it's to be expected.
Put that on.
I do as they say, lifting my arms to slide the shirt over my head. As my shoulder blades bend, I'm not supposed to do that. I can feel the skin on my back stretch. The fresh branding wound still stings, along with lacerations from being whipped. As I slide the shirt over my head and down my torso, the cold cloth torments the wound at first, but the pain slowly goes away. Once the shirt is on, I attempt to stand up from my seated position. My legs wobble at first, but they're still pretty strong. The other guard has already left through the door and started walking up the tunnel. The guard by my side grabs the chains on my shackles and tugs me in the direction of the door. Walking hurts, but doesn't feel like the pain will last. I can't afford to be slow either, because the guard leading me isn't taking his time. We walk at a fast pace up the tunnel, approaching the stairs quickly. As we make our way up the hall, my mind keeps going back to something odd. Adrius is hiding something. Not the identity of the true killer, but something else entirely. The way he acted back there was stranger than what I'd expect. The light from one of the windows in a cell that we pass blinds me for a moment as the setting sun shines through. I imagine Lyall leaping up from one of these empty cells and cutting down the guards where he stands. What would happen after that, though? We'd never make it outside the castle. It's a stupid thought, but one that I want to cling to. We reach the stairs and the guard practically pulls me up them. My thighs start to ache, but I push past it. At this point, I just want to reach our destination and figure out what's going on. I have many questions just from hearing Adrius talk about what's going to happen. Why are they taking me to a wall? Why does the executioner need his horse? There's also the hunt that Adrius mentioned. No. Wait. Have they already found Lyall? Did they intend to hunt him down and make me watch? No. No, they can't do that. I won't watch. They're going to have to force my eyes open. I just have to hope that if they did find Lyall, Adrius would have rubbed in my face by now. I assume they're going to use him as bait.
Yeah, like they're going to make a fresh wound and Lyall's going to smell it.
I didn't mean that literally, but...
Oh.
Like, come out, or we're going to kill him. At least that's what I think he would have done. None of this makes any sense. It's like a twisted dream. The guard leads me down the corridor, and we make our way to the western halls of the castle. I imagine they're going to go up on the most visible wall of the castle and threaten his execution, basically.
We're going to do it. I'm going to do it.
Gonna do it. Just hope he's listening. He's paying attention. There's crates and barrels lining the walls and plenty of storage closets. There's a lot of bows as well. Long bows, short bows, even a few crossbows. Okay. I see rooms where the walls are lined with weapons of all kinds. Spears and swords rest on racks, and shields leans against the walls.
Remember how the last time we were in this hallway, Lyall just started monologuing about how many layers there were to the dungeon and how it goes really deep down, and then we didn't go there?
Uh-huh. Now we're describing the armory just so we know it's there. We even pass a few guards on the way and then look at me with disgust. I try to avoid their eye contact as much as possible while still looking at my surroundings. However, there isn't much else, and soon we reach the end of the curved hall. Light shines in through the thin windows, and I can tell we're close to the outer walls of the castle. A guard opens the door, and I'm tugged outside. Neat. It's the sky butthole. Once my eyes adjust to the bright light, I look around. We stand atop the walls of the outer bailey of the castle. Looking over the edge, I can see that we're not actually too high up, which is a good thing because I've never been a fan of high places. Richter, stay on topic. The sky is filled with warmth as large pink and orange clouds consume the sky above the western mountains. Sunlight bursts through an opening in the center of the gathering of clouds, casting a bright glow over everything beneath it. Snow covers parts of the grassy fields below, and patches of purple flowers line the area around the walls. The guard behind me pushes me forward, and I begin to make my way down the long, narrow walkway. There are soldiers standing in formation at the end of the wall, their capes blowing in the cold wind. They don't look at me, but instead look over the walls or chat among themselves. It's certainly better than having everyone's eyes on me. I look ahead of them, and at the very end of the wall, just before the stairs leading above the western portcullis, I see Adrius and Elizabeth, an important character in the story. The rest of the northern nobility are seated in chairs behind them. They talk among themselves, but I don't see Lord Galen or Brayden. It's only the ones who decided I was guilty. The rest are forming a rebel alliance. As I get closer, the guard leading me stops and pulls me back, stopping me from going any further. There's no barrier on this part of the wall, the floor beneath my feet leading directly off the edge. Even with his small stature and missing antler, Adrius stands tall and proud at the top of the wall. His cape blows in the wind behind him, the golden light from the sun making his fur glow with a bright, warm color. Looking at him, you wouldn't think he had just had someone tortured for days on end, along with participating in the act. When I look at Liz, she's the exact opposite of Adrius. I feel like it's not really appropriate to shorten Elizabeth's name, given our total lack of a relationship.
Yeah.
Aside from her perfect posture with her head held high, I can tell she's tired. After everything that's happened, I don't blame her. Her eyes are sad, and most of the color in her face is gone. Her long auburn hair whips about as the wind picks up, the light making it shine a ruby color. I want to yell out to her and scream the truth. The gag in my mouth makes that impossible, but I know it wouldn't matter even if I could. It would just put her in more trouble and place a target on her back. As if only she would have received the message out of everyone here when you yell. A vision of her standing in the same place as I am, getting ready to die. It makes my insides roll in pain. That's not what I want at all. I don't understand the idea that he would yell out what happened as the truth, and then specifically Elizabeth out of everyone here would get punished.
Well, Richter being Richter would go, Elizabeth, my bestie.
Liz, my best friend and co-collaborator.
Girl, I got some tea.
I can't possibly share this information on a public forum without implicating you specifically, despite our nothing together. I just wish I could tell her to get out of here and run away from it all. Adrius begins to walk down the stairs, throwing his cape behind his shoulder. He waves his hand, and the guard holding my chains positions me so that I'm facing west, standing near the edges of the wall. Do they mean to kill me by pushing me off? A fall from this height wouldn't kill me, let alone harm me in any way. What? They're on a wall. How would it not harm you in any way? I don't understand. How high is the wall?
Yeah,
6
is it like
feet?
just
Not very high.
Is it just
is
like
this the wall? Like we're not. I thought we were like
Yeah.
on top of like the
Yeah,
top of the castle.
Is it just like that little shelf that you
Like
walk
look on the
stairs
right.
up
Like
to
you can
that
see it's
separates?
definitely an edge.
It looks high.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know he said that we're not that high up, but I'm like, I don't know. If you push somebody off of any wall that's not the ground floor, I feel like it could harm you in a number of ways. My legs might buckle once I hit the ground if I don't roll. If I don't do an action movie roll, I might sprain my ankle.
Richter, you haven't eaten in like a week.
Yeah,
I think you would get hurt.
Richter has a high estimation of his own abilities. He's just like that guy that's like sees people like it's like he's like the dude that sees sees sports on TV. He's like, I could do that. But other than that, I've jumped from heights like this before and been fine. Why and when? Also, you don't remember your life seemingly before the accident, I guess. So when have you jumped? However, my muscles aren't as strong currently. Richter, stay on topic. Only I'm allowed to go off topic. You're supposed to be in a scene. Adrius reaches the bottom of the stairs and gestures to the hills and mountains beyond.
Lord Richter, you were found guilty of the murder of the king, along with many other crimes. For this, you have been sentenced to die.
He turns back to me, a soft smile on his face.
However, the laws do not decide how my father's killer dies.
He walks up to me and rests his hand on my shoulder, standing by my side and gesturing to the hills.
You don't deserve a beheading. No. Instead, I'm going to give you a chance. Oh, this is the hunt.
Oh,
we're
this
gonna be
is
hunted down.
Stupid. So we're gonna get saved by Lyall. He's gonna find us during the hunt and protect us, and this is an incredible breach of security for them to do after keeping us prisoner all this time. It's like a punishment contrived exclusively for us to get to survive. He snaps his fingers, pointing at me, and the guard to my right begins to remove the gag from my mouth. Once it's gone, I cough and relish in the feeling of relief. My throat feels dry, and I can still taste the cloth in my mouth. Getting my sense of taste back has never been so awful.
We're going to have a hunt.
He takes a key from the guard and begins to unlock the shackles on my arms. Once they fall to the floor, I caress my wrists, feeling the indents that the cuffs left. I so badly want to punch Adrius and knock off his other antler, but my body refuses to move. It could be fear or restraint that's holding me back, but deep down I want to kill him with my bare hands right now. Let's see. I just don't know if I could. I've never murdered anyone before. Unless...
In this hunt, you're going to be the quarry.
The quarry? A stack of blocks? Of course. It all makes sense now. He wants me to run for my life. He wants to enjoy the fact that I think I have a chance.
It's all very simple. Once you're on the ground, you're going to run. Run as fast as you can across the hills toward the mountains. You'll get a decent head start, too.
Just kill him already! I don't remember which one was Grimdale. The Bear Lord. It was me, but not that voice. The Bear Lord shouts this in a jesting manner, but nobody laughs. Adrius just nods in his direction with an annoyed expression.
Silence.
He pats me on the back lightly and I wince in pain.
If my headsman manages to catch you, he will kill you. This is your only chance.
It's gonna be the horse specifically? My only chance. Is it really my only chance? Do I even have a chance at all? He's going to kill me anyway, there's no doubt about it. No. I'm not sure about any of it, but when I look to the horizon, I suddenly get a burst of energy. It's nothing physical, but instead, I feel a spout of determination rush through my body. A save point! Tigrin fills you with determination.
It's not all. Never mind.
Tigrin? I look around, half expecting to see them standing off in the distance. They're not, though. Their voice sounded so far away, too. The ellipses was a voice? Like they've become weaker.
If you have any last words, I would speak them now if I were you. Nobody will be able to hear you from down there.
You killed your father. Last words. I look down below, the flowers blowing in the wind, sending petals scattered all over the snow. The sun shines on my face, allowing me to feel a warmth I never could in the cells of the castle. Tigrin really did it. I don't know what they did, but like they said, I have to have faith. What? Interesting amount of...
Giving him energy is apparently what he actually... I forgot about this. That it wasn't giving him the vision that he sacrificed his powers for. It was to
revitalize
our energy.
This really is my last chance. Turning to look at Adrius, our eyes meet, and I shoot him a poisonous glare. My last words. Standing up straight, I face forward and clear my throat before speaking. You haven't had water in a week. This is going to be it is another chance for Richter to have an everybody clapped moment. I've said enough. The wind dies down, and for a moment, it feels as if everything stands completely still.
It's got to be like Ethan Winters level. Like, you're the monster. I'm sick of bugs.
Well, it sounds like he's done. That's it.
Yeah, I think that's like, I'm not giving you the satisfaction of hearing of anything else.
Even though it's like, I've said enough, and everyone's like, who? What did he say? What? Some of them might have half heard his accusation a week ago at the trial, but overall, he hasn't had a lot of chance to speak, actually. Then Adrius' soft voice breaks the silence.
Very well. Guard, when you're ready.
Before I can even finish, I step forward and leap off the edge of the wall. I hear a few people gasp, but it's drowned out by the sound of wind rushing past my ears as I plummet. It's specifically not a long drop. There's no wind rushing past your ears. I've hopped off of small walls before, and I know that's not. No. It's not like da 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 da. I hit the ground with a heavy thud, and my knees buckle as I roll forward, just like I predicted. Thankfully, I landed in a small patch of snow, but it didn't do the best job of breaking my fall. Is that lavender?
I think so.
Without hesitating for even a second, I get up and break into a sprint. I forgot. Wait. Didn't they dress him up more for the trial than that? I don't remember. It doesn't matter. Like that was his prisoner outfit, but I thought they had a different outfit for the trial, and they said they put his trial outfit back on when he ran away, or when they dressed him up to bring him out.
We do get the one CG. I'll dig that out real quick.
The snow and grass beneath my feet is freezing cold, making my feet instantly go numb. That's overkill. I push through it and keep running, not looking back. I hear Adrius yell something to me from the wall, but I can't make it out. Is he supposed to run all the way to that distant forest, I guess? Yeah.
Into the mountains.
It does seem like the same. We only get a shot of like his short sleeve, but it's definitely the same thing. He's not all ruffled up like he was at first.
I rush through the patch of flowers, their petals brushing against my legs as I wade through them like water. It feels like I'm halfway across the first hill, but I don't look back to check. I just keep running. Just imagining they let Richter out and he just fucking bolts like crypto in one go, and you're like, oh, we fucked up. Just disappears. Adrius looks out over the wall, watching as Richter runs just over the first small hill. He rests his hands on the barricade, almost leaning over it as he watches with keen eyes. He didn't think something like this would be so exciting. Knowing that there isn't much time left before he gets out of range, Adrius motions for the archers. Oh,
archers, to your marks.
That's not what I thought the hunt was supposed to be. The archers stand at the ready, their longbows in hand.
Knock.
They knock their arrows, their bows clanking about as they do so.
Bah.
Adrius watches as Richter comes into view, centered perfectly on the horizon. The archers draw their arrows, and before they can hold for too long, Adrius gives the command.
Loose.
Just as I make it past another patch of snow, something swiftly flies through the air behind me, landing a few feet to my left. It's an arrow. This followed by more arrows landing in my general area, one of them landing a few feet in front of me, causing me to stagger to the right. I guess that one guy just shot really early. That bastard. He's having his soldiers shoot arrows at me. I don't stick around to wait for another volley as I pick up my pace, trying to run even faster than I was before. My arms and legs are in so much pain, and the bottoms of my feet are on fire. I thought they were numb. I can feel the cold air rushing into my lungs. It stings like hell, but I keep running. Adrius watches as the arrows land near Richter, each one narrowly missing him. A rush of energy goes up his spine as it happens, and he turns to Liz, who is now by his side. She watches with a nervous expression, but he disregards this.
Call for the headsman and tell him to begin riding out. I want to make sure he doesn't get too far away.
Right away.
Liz turns away to go and relay the information to a guard. Before Adrius can prepare his archers to let loose another volley, he notices that she's stopped and is now staring over the edge again. This time, however, she's looking at the area just beneath the wall with a quizzical expression.
Elizabeth, I'm not sure if you know, but that was an order.
I think that order's already been carried out.
Confused, Adrius runs to the edge of the wall and looks over. Sure enough, the headsman's mounted on a horse, wearing their dark cloak, having rode through one of the wall's exits.
Could that be...
It's gonna be Lyall, dressed as the headsman. He knocked out the headsman with the blunt of his sword. His axe rests at his side, ready to strike down Richter with a single swing.
He's riding awfully fast.
Isn't that what you want?
Her tone has a certain bitterness to it, but Adrius ignores her.
Come now, Liz. This is a sport of kings. He doesn't deserve a quick death.
Something isn't right. Adrius squints his eyes, watching the headsman ride across the field, snow and dirt kicking up beneath the hooves of their mount. From beneath their billowing cloak, Adrius knows the type of horse they're riding. It's a large breed, but that makes sense. The headsman's a very large man. They have a black coat, dark as midnight, and their mane is stark white. As Adrius studies the horse, he sees a flash of crimson from underneath the cape. Adrius practically raises himself off his hooves as he lifts himself above the barricade to shout over the walls, "Excuse me, it's a crenulation?" I don't know. I don't actually know castle words.
Fire on that rider now!
Oh my god, it is him! The archers begin to knock their arrows, and Liz rushes back to Adrius' side, throwing her hands in the air.
Adrius, what are you doing?
You don't see it? Take a closer look.
He rushes over to her side, grabbing her by the shoulder and pointing out over the horizon towards the headsman. As I sprint across the field to try to focus on the horizon and the sky beyond, not allowing the arrows to slow me down. The clouds begin to part, and the sun once again shines through the opening. The sky is made up of the brightest colors I've ever seen. Pink, yellow, and orange, the clouds are soaking these colors in as if it was paint. It gives me a feeling I don't think I've ever felt before. Despite how cruel this world is, with all its faults, it's so beautiful. Just as I'm about to reach the top of another hill, I hear hoofbeats behind me. It's the headsman. The noise gets louder with each thud, and I feel my heart begin to beat faster than it ever has. Tigran, please. If you're there, I need your help right now. If this is Lyall, then I'm not sure what Tigran's sacrifice accomplished. Sprinting faster than I
Probably wouldn't have gotten even that far without it.
Like, it was just the power to dodge arrows. Sprinting faster than I ever have, I close my eyes as tears start to form. Like a child slowing down at the end of a race, I start to feel myself decline. No matter how hard I push myself, my body's starting to give out. To make matters even worse, I hear another barrage of arrows fly through the air behind me. My lungs feel like they're about to burst out of my chest as I continue to press myself up the hill. The bottoms of my feet are completely numb. Are they on fire or numb? You gotta pick one. I'm starting to not even feel my legs. As I reach the top of the hill, I pray that one of the arrows hits, putting me out of my misery. Why would you? That's specifically what you don't want. This is the specific thing you're trying not to do. But none of them do. Instead, they make their landing far behind where I am. Am I out of range? Did they simply miss?
Richter!
come to a stop and turn around. Blah. Oh my gosh.
Oh my
husband
goodness.
pause. What'd that transition look like? Oh, there's like one flash of soldier Lyall. That's interesting.
Oh, I like that. That's good.
It's Lyall. At first, I think I'm seeing things, but there he is, riding across the field. He throws off a dark cloak and tosses an axe at his side. It lands in the grass behind him with a thud, the head stuck on the ground. The horse he rides is bigger than any horse I've ever ridden. They have a black coat with snow-white hair. As they gallop faster, Lyall leans off to the left, holding out his hand. His armor is different, too. He looks like Geralt, frankly. It's almost reminiscent of the armor he wore in that vision from the past. Is it? That stuff looked like a combat. That almost looked like military stuff. It's almost reminiscent... I see arrows rise into the sky behind him, and looking at his face, I know he hears them.
Keep running!
Getting mixed messages from the CG. I follow his orders and break back into a sprint, turning around to face him every few seconds. Should have really brought a shield under that cloak. The arrows dive into the ground around us as he rides up my side, holding out his paw.
Take it, quickly! Give me your hand!
I don't know what continuing to run did, really. It just delayed you getting on the horse, I guess. He slows his horse down slightly, allowing me to run alongside them as I reach for his paw. My fingers slip for a moment, but he reaches out further and I manage to get a hold. I grip it tightly and he swings me onto his horse, seating me in front of him.
Yeah!
He whips the reins and the horse bolts forward, speeding over the hill. Lyall hugs me tightly to his body as our ride becomes a bit rough. The arrows become less frequent as we get closer to the edge of the woods at the base of the mountain. The sun sets behind the mountains, and for the first time in weeks, I feel safe. Aww. That was a pretty effective scene as far as like tension and stakes and cool visuals and music.
Yeah.
It is a hilariously contrived execution method to specifically let Richter escape, basically, though. But it was as far as like mixed results on scenes accomplishing their jobs, this is a scene that very much did its job.
Mm-hmm.
The last barrage of arrows lands just behind the two of them, and Adrius accepts that they're finally out of range. The sun sets over the mountains, casting a deep amber glow around his body from behind. He sees Liz look over at him, uncertainty on her face, but he doesn't pay her any mind. His eyes are only trained on the rider in the distance, their cape billowing in the wind as they get closer and closer to the horizon. Closing his fist, a cruel and conflicting smile stretches across his face as he clenches his teeth. The nobility, seated above the portcullis, are in an uproar behind him, Liz trying to calm them down. It's really embarrassing for him. It's like, this is now the trial of Richter the dickhead, and gets shoved over like a nerd and his antler snaps off. This is now the execution of Richter the dickhead. He's gone. He got away. It's a good thing I invited everyone to watch so they could see this. Fuck. It's like really a lot of self-owns here on his part for no real reason. Really undoes the genius psychopath alter ego he's got going on. I think if anything, the main purpose I can think of for the DID stuff is just the idea that there's a second, like the main Adrius might No.
I was thinking like maybe there's another god, like how we have Tiger, and maybe Adrius had another.
That would be just a really impotent murder god that doesn't really have any special
something
powers.
like that.
I was about to say
telling him to do this.
I was about to say that it might add the slightly interesting intrigue of like, oh, but even Adrius is investigating so hard because he doesn't know Richter killed him. But then they had to ruin it with that one line, like, it was the moment that the two eyes became one. So both Adriuses know that he murdered his dad.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the purpose of that is then, yeah, because I feel like the purpose of that kind of plot point would be to have the main Adrius not know he murdered his dad and actually genuinely think that Richter's up to stuff. Weird. Some of them are clearly upset with the way this execution is playing out, but others try to quiet them, saying this is a tradition. Is what, the longer hunt now? Like a boar? They're going to go out there and get them?
I'm assuming the hunt is supposed to be a metaphor how like deers are supposed to be hunted. So now they're hunting their criminals. I think that's what it's going for. I don't know.
I think this wasn't genuinely supposed to become a hunt, but now it is. Because if the headsman's going to chase him on a horse with an axe, like, who the fuck is getting away from that? No one. That's not a hunt. It's just,
that's just an execution.
You're in a broad field and you're just like axing someone down.
Well, we gave him a chance, so we can't be the barbarians.
Yeah. He's also like, he doesn't deserve a quick death. I'm like, I feel like the headsman's not going to kill him that slowly.
Also, you were firing arrows at him, like...
Yeah.
Before this.
Adrius lets out a sigh of relief and turns to Liz. Relief?
Liz, the hunt isn't over yet. I've managed to bring the beasts out of hiding, and we've granted them the prospect of hope. Now is when things get interesting. Send out the Heart's cavalry.
They were name dropped once, but we still don't know what this means.
It's his uncle.